Shall I start?
Yes, start.
So, good afternoon, doctors. I, Shuman, on behalf of Shield Healthcare, welcoming you all in today's session on 10 gynec problems of girl child on the special occasion of the International Day of Girl Child. And we have with us Dr. Shama Sultana Madam, and Madam is master of the ceremony, and the speaker is Dr. Ritu S. Santwani Madam. And before moving into the session, it's my honor to introduce Madam. As we all know that Madam is a very young and enthusiastic, cheerful obstetrician and gynecologist, as well as infertility consultant. Madam is the chairman and co-founder of Hope Win Hospital, and also working as a gynec consultant at Star Hospital, Guntur. She did her PG diploma in assisted reproductive techniques from Kiel University, Germany, and Madam did a training in basic ultrasound and endoscopy from Foxy. Madam did a diploma in aesthetic gynecology, ISAGSS, and also she has a colposcopy expert training from Delhi Gynae Forum. Madam has been a speaker in many webinars and conferences as well. Among that, in Femicide is a community connect program in preventable women's health care held in May 2021. Madam is a public awareness in charge in sexual medicine committee, Foxy, and editorial in chief of Dr. Parag Patil's awareness digest. Recent September 1st, 21, and let's understand this orgasm. Madam has also served as a faculty and a moderator for Open Forum Awareness on Adolescent Sexual Health organized by the PUGS in June 2021, and Madam is the founder of Yuvanari's healthcare organization in Guntur for adolescent and young women health awareness mission. So with this short introduction, now I request Chitra to play the video, and we will hand over the session to Madam.
Yeah, please project Yuvanari's healthcare video.
Yuvanari's healthcare. Who is Yuvanari? She is adolescent girl and women who are the future of nation. They are in a journey to pursue their dreams. They need courage, determination, dedication, focus, and most important, health. They are surrounded by number of health problems. So here is our Yuvanari's healthcare founded by Dr. Shama Sultana, which shall provide awareness by online webinars, health-related videos, offline high school and college health camps, and many more. Our goal is to reach nationwide in 10 years. We need everyone's support. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am. So this is what Yuvanari's healthcare. Yes.
Yes, sir. So, ma'am, now I request to you to take over the session.
Yeah. Thank you, Suman. So here I welcome all. Hi, salam, namaste. I'm Dr. Shama Sultana, founder of Yuvanari's healthcare. And before all, I want to welcome all of you to Yuvanari's healthcare webinar. Before starting, I would like to tell a few lines on International Day of Girl Child. And this day is observed annually on October 11th to honor and encourage female children. This day encourages additional opportunities for females and draws attention to gender inequality throughout the world. And may this world become a safer and happier place for a girl child to live happily. Little girls with dreams become strong women with vision, and a happy and healthy girl child with a safe and progressive environment is what we all dream for. And daughters deserve every ounce of respect as everyone. They are not to be belittled. And an educated woman has the power to educate the whole family. So empower the girl child, and the world will be a better place to live when the girl child is as happy as the other gender. And let us work in synergy to make this dream come true. The occasion of International Girl Child Day reminds each and every one of us that girl child still needs our attention and extra care. So organizing this webinar through Yuvanari's healthcare that honor the female child, and it is one approach to make people aware of this day. And thus, Yuvanaris Healthcare is an organization initiating at Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, in a view to make awareness among adolescent girls and young women know about their health and well-being. Hope this awareness program shall help them to spread their wings and start their flight to reach their heights in their desired fields. So without any delay, let's start our today's program, and we have our expert speaker, Honorable Dr. Ritu Satwani ma'am. First of all, thanks ma'am for accepting our invitation. So Dr. Ritu Satwani ma'am is well-known senior most gynecologist, and I used to regularly attend her academic marathon. It was a pleasure and become my daily routine to attend ma'am's webinars, which were so informative and useful. Here I take privilege to introduce and welcome ma'am to YNHC program. She is MBBS GSPM Medical College Kanpur, and she did MD Obstetrics and Gynecology from King's George Medical College Lucknow. She is FICOG, and she did an ART course for clinicians NUHS Singapore, postgraduate diploma in clinical cosmetology, medical cosmetology, then RCOG Associate London, and Foxy Gestosis certified hypertensive disorders of pregnancy she did, and Indian Academy of Obstetrician and Gynecology. She is a honorable fellow for improvement of women's health and honorary professor Obs and Gyn in Women's Medical College, Gajrula, and 20 years veteran of Obs and Gyn services, specialized in cosmetic gynecology and test tube baby, and each and every aspect of infertility, and provide comprehensive services in IUI and IVF cycle, etc. And during COVID times, ma'am has a marathon of webinars and academic sessions. With that, many of the gynecians and many of the medical practitioners have lot of tremendous knowledge because of that. And thank you so much for accepting our invitation and coming here, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shama, for inviting me here today. So, friends, first of all, I'm very happy to see that some of our doctor friends has also joined. Yeah, hi to Chandni. I'm able to see the name of the Chandni here. And so many other friends are also, Dr. Gauri Taneja, I'm able to see, Dr. Janki. So a very, very warm welcome to all of you. So friends, one Shama invited me, Dr. Shama invited me because her this project is very, very fascinating, and she is also doing a very correct work. What I started this academic marathon of the webinars. Why? Because the problems what I faced after my PG. So I don't want the coming youngsters should face the same problems. Every time there is a problem, that whom to ask and how to ask. So there are lot of queries. So that's why I made some academic groups also and started this academic webinars also. Besides this, as Shama is doing the UNRE, I also started the initiative for this digital health 360 degree for women, in which I am solving the queries what I am getting constantly on my Facebook Messenger, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So in that I am solving that queries. So yeah, so good to see the Shama that you are doing such a nice work. So my kudos to you. A very, very nice job you are doing. So friends, as Dr. Shama has just described now, for the today's the International Girl Child Day. So without wasting time, I'm starting the session, and I will try to include the things what we are getting in our OPD daily day-to-day practice, what the problems we are getting with the girl child. So friends, as all of you are aware of also that this year the motto of this 2021 of the International Girl Day Child is a digital generation is our generation. So I think this is a very, very appropriate, because COVID has given us two things. One, so we are not able to meet personally with each our friends, but that has given us a very good platform for the academic exchange. At least I can say I have to made in this Corona time, I have made a friends all across the globe. So, and I'm constantly sharing the knowledge sharing platforms with them. So now I'm coming to the topic. Yeah. I will try to simplify my language. So in meanwhile, if you are having any queries, you can write in the chat box so we can discuss later on. First of all, a happy Navratri to all of you. As we all know, we have just gone through 2 bad phases of Corona. So all the presentations, whether the academic or whether for the public forum, I always start with this 2 line of Durga Stuti. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Chikitsa Rupen Sansita Namastasei 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 Namo Namah. So as I just mentioned, the International Day of the Girl Child. So the motto is Digital Generation, Our Generation. So friends, I'm able to see that 21 participants have logged in. So how many of you are agree with me on this, that digital generation is our generation? Please write in the chat box that how many of you agree for this digitalization? How many of you feel that digitalization is for better for all of us? So this 11th October, International Day of the Girl Child, this celebration has been started from 2012, and 11th October has been marked as an International Day of the Girl. The day aims to highlight and address the needs of the challenges girls face while promoting the girls' empowerment and the fulfillment of their human rights. So today we are going to discuss that what are the common 10 gynecological problems of a girl child. So friends, as we all are aware that gynecological problems in the prepubertal child and at the adolescence creates the greater levels of anxiety in parents particularly, but fortunately very few of these disorders could be considered common. So now the disorders have been fallen into the 2 groups, either the puberty or those of adolescence. Because in our OPD, most of the time, sometimes the mothers are getting their kids that having a lot of problems. So friends, as we all are aware of, so this is in the very simple language that the stages of woman life, everyone is aware of the neonatal period, from postpartum up to the first 28 days, from birth to 28 days, then childhood period, then till at the age of the 8 years, then pre-puberty and puberty period between the ages of 8 and 12, then adolescence period ages between 12 to 20, the sexual maturity period ages 18 to 50, while the climacteric enceinium after the age of the 50. But today we are going to focus on the pre-puberty and the puberty period and the adolescence also. So I think in this Corona time, everybody is aware of this vitamin D importance, vitamin C importance. Still, we have just passed through these 2 phases of the Corona. So before I go to these common gynecological problems, that is vitamin D deficiency, iron deficiency anemia, heavy menses, or the pain during menses, or the polycystic ovarian disease. So many young girls are coming to our OPD with that they are suffering from PCOS or the pelvic inflammatory disease. Girls are coming with little white discharge and pain, or sometimes the problems of the breast, sometimes some lump in the breast, or some lump in the breast, or sometimes they complain the soreness and pain in the breast before the menses, and some of course coming for the cervical cancer screening and the vaccination too, and the infertility and sexual health. So friends, as we all aware regarding this vitamin D deficiency, so still now just we have passed through Corona, each and everyone I think has taken the supplement of zinc and vitamin C. Still we are focusing on this vitamin D intake up to the 60,000 international units weekly or the 2,000 international units per day. Abhi, very much importance. Everyone is asking that, ma'am, I have already suffered from Corona. Still, it's important to take the vitamin D. Other queries, our parents have suffered from Corona. At that time, they have taken for a 1 month or a 2 month for this vitamin D. Still, it is important to take this vitamin D supplement. So, friends, yes, it is very important though we all know a very, very important point, still we have just passed from the 2 phases. Still the guidelines are same. You have to use your hand sanitization as much as possible. Mask up is also good, and the social distancing is also good. So besides that, the vitamin D supplementation is also very, very important. So this vitamin D deficiency, the rickets and hypocalcemia in the children, and severe deficiency of vitamin D, which causes the rickets and hypocalcemia in infants and children. This has been reported in so many of the patients. And the rickets also occurs in the developed nations if the sufficient vitamin D intake is not ensured. So intake of vitamin D is very, very important. So here I want to emphasize one very important point. When I passed out my PG, post-graduation 20 years back, I am from KGMC Lucknow. So that time we have seen so many patients of this rickets, and so many ladies are coming for that they are not having any exposure of sun. Earlier it was seen that that who are under the Parda system or like that, they are having a not exposure of sun. But nowadays the scenario is totally changed. As now everyone is working from home except for the doctors. We the doctors have to go for all the doing the emergencies and seeing the patients. So there is no exposure to sunlight. So again, there is a very, very high incidence of vitamin D deficiency we are seeing these days. So the girls are coming to me, the young girls, the parents are getting, ma'am, she is having a lot of backache. We have done all the tests are coming normal. We have shown to physician, he has given the painkiller. So the patient, the girl has felt for some days good, but still she is having the backache. So friends, this is very, very important for this vitamin D. The intake or the exposure of the proper sunlight is very, very important. So here, this I'm not taking. I will take the points which are very, very important in for the day-to-day practice and for the layman language. So here, as for the vitamin D, the common question comes to us that, ma'am, how can we take this vitamin D, or what are the sources of this? Just a second. Just a second. So for this vitamin D, lot of girls are coming and the queries are coming that that, ma'am, what can we take in the diet so we can get a good vitamin D? So friends, as we all are aware, the rich source of the vitamin D ka source is only the sunlight. So vitamin D is not in the foods. Yes, some amount you will get from the milk and some you get in some kind of mushrooms too. So I want to know that how many of you are taking the mushrooms in your diet. I'm able to see some delegates in this list, but no one is answering my questions. Is it not like that? Yeah, I am only speaking in the air and nobody is listening. And I want to know that how many of you are taking the mushrooms in your diet or the milk daily, a glass of milk daily. So coming to the next slide. So for this vitamin D supplementation, this supplementation in the lactating mother and the infants is very, very important. In the abroad, United States, the milk and some brands of orange juice fortified with 100 international units of vitamin D per cup is available. But consumption of at least of 1 liter of fortified formula or beverages daily is usually sufficient to meet at least 2/3 of the current guidelines of the vitamin D intake. But unfortunately, we are not getting any kind of this fortified milk or fortified juice in the India. So this is also. So now coming to this already have discussed. So especially the vitamin D deficiency is seen in the dark in the children on the anticonvulsants or chronic glucocorticoids, children with chronic diseases that are associated with malabsorption such as cystic fibrosis and inflammatory bowel disease, and with low dietary intake of vitamin D, those are not taking the supplements, and the children with elevated serum alkaline phosphatase. So these are the some incidences has been reported. Now coming to this anemia, anemia is very, very commonly seen. I think the participants who have joined also getting the lot of hearing about this anemia. Once they are going for the weakness, for the body ache to the doctor, and they are saying that they are feeling tired, not having the energy, the doctor usually checks and tell them that are you suffering from the anemia. Anemia means less blood. So what is in this anemia? Anemia is a multifactorial in etiology. Iron and folate deficiency are common. Iron deficiency is related to the nutritional deficiency and folate deficiency due to poor intake and chronic hemolytic stage. So what are the other things has been reported are the malaria and chronic diseases like tuberculosis, HIV, and cancers remain as the major contributors to anemia. As we are talking about the girl day child, the poor intake and the poor absorption and malaria, we can consider as the important factors. Dr. Sharma, is this good? I am speaking for the layman regarding the layman. Or should I will give you more details for the scientific content also?
To unmute myself. Yes, ma'am.
Is this okay, or should I give little scientific detail also?
Layman is enough, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, dear. Thank you so much. So now, for this, due to anemia, due to less blood, so what are the problems has been associated? Of course, we know the depressed immunity and the chances of repeated infections are very, very common. So, as we have just discussed, due to this anemia, reduced cognitive development, diminished concentration, disturbance in perception, poor learning ability, irregular menses, low pre-pregnancy iron stores, low birth weight babies and preterm delivery, decreased work capacity and decreased work output. So anemia and malnutrition. So here, friends, as we see, this is again for the doctor will decide that what is mild, moderate, severe. So here, once you are diagnosed with the anemia, doctor will give you the some iron tablets along with the iron, the folic acid or B12 preparations also has been given. So now, depending on the which kind of anemia have you been diagnosed, the doctor will advise you accordingly that you are having a less iron or less folic acid. Other very important is the B12 deficiency is very, very common, especially for the pure vegetarians. In India now, the B12 deficiency patients, we are seeing so many. So the doctor will see and guide you properly that which medicine you have to take. So now coming to this menstrual problem. So that is also very, very important. Among this, so many patients are coming to us. Some are coming with no menses, some are coming with heavy bleeding, some are coming with a pain during periods, some are coming with a clotting during the period. So what is the normal and what is abnormal? So friends, as we know, in the normal, every cycle has come every 21 to 35 days and it will go blood go for 2 to 3 days. And the amount loss is 35 to 40 ml. Now the problems is associated with dysmenorrhea, as we have just discussed, the pain during menses, or sometimes the girl is having a 2 to 3 times of bleeding in a period. So abnormal vaginal bleeding or the amenorrhea. Amenorrhea means where the scanty menses or the no bleeding is coming at all. So friends, for your knowledge, means I want to share that it is good usually. The cycle length is usually reported 21 to 42 days. Duration of the bleeding is 3 to 7 days, and average blood loss has been reported up to 30 ml. So, but the range goes up to from 20 to 80 ml. So now, what is this abnormal uterine bleeding? The bleeding that is excessive or occurs outside the normal cyclic menstruation. So this we have just discussed. So now, why this abnormal bleeding is happening? So for that, my request to all of you, those who are listening this program, please go and consult your doctor. Don't take the prescriptions by the Google. So I am getting so many of patients. I have seen one patient on the Saturday only. The patient, a young girl, 19 years of age, she told me, ma'am, I am getting the menses 2 to 3 times in a month. So I Googled it. So it has come that you might be having some growth inside the uterus, or maybe you are having some hormonal imbalance. So that's why I've done. She came to me with all the reports. She has done the thyroid, even the serum parathyroid hormone, bleeding disorder, clotting disorder, all the LFT, all the things she has done. But what she has missed, she has not done any of the sonography. So what's the problem? Whether she is having a fibroid, or she is having a polyp, or she is having adenomyosis. So what? Please go and consult the doctor. Doctor will check you and will advise you for the proper investigations. So as our today's session is for the adolescent girls also, so sometimes for this AUB, what are the different causes has been reported? So among this endocrinal means what's the hormonal milieu changes, the causes has been reported: the anovulatory uterine bleeding, hyperthyroidism, hyperprolactinemia, PCOS, and ovarian failure has been reported. And sometimes in some cases the coagulopathies has also been reported. So among this, the test, as I told you, the test the doctor will decide. You please don't go ahead test by yourself. Yes, you can. If you have read in the Google, yes, hemogram. Of course, you can do that. What is your hemoglobin? That much you can do. But rest of the test, the hormone analysis, and all that, the doctor will guide you that which test you have to go ahead. So again, this treatment is by the doctor, so I'm not dealing here. Yeah. Now coming to a very, very important topic, that is the polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. PCOS is very, very important. I think most of you have heard about the name of this PCOS, the PCOS, PCOS, PCOD. So many girls are coming in our OPD. Ma'am, I'm suffering from PCOD. So can it be completely curable? Is it like that I'm able to conceive? So friends, the PCOS is a very, very burning problem, I can say worldwide, and PCOS is considered to be as a thief of womanhood. So because it affects all, the reproductive, hormonal, metabolic, all the systems has been affected by the polycystic ovarian syndrome. So some girls are coming to me, ma'am, it is totally genetically related. No, friends. Yes, of course, some studies have come that if your mom has suffered from PCOS, the ratio has been reported up to 35%. And if your elder sister is also having a PCOS, then the chances of getting you PCOS is up to 40% has been reported. But main culprit for this PCOS is the lifestyle changes. So because so many patients are coming to us, ma'am, I had gone to so many doctors for irregular cycles, for this abnormal hair growth near the chin or near the navel, but still till I'm taking the treatment, I'm having my periods properly. As soon as I will stop the treatment, my periods won't come. I think all of you have heard in your friend circle that some females are getting the periods monthly and rest are not getting it every month. Some are getting only after taking the tablets, or some are getting after every 2 months. So these are some symptoms with which the patients of PCOS usually present. Now, once the patient is coming to us with this polycystic ovarian syndrome, so as I told, this hirsutism, as I told, this abnormal hair growth near the chin and navel, and this darkening of the skin of the nape of the neck or the axilla, irregular cycles, weight gain, because most of the patients of this PCOS have correlation with this, the hypothyroidism. So whether the hypothyroidism causing the PCOS or whether the PCOS causing the hypothyroidism, still it is all a mystery. So whether which one is causing the which, so still it is a mystery. So now how to treat this PCOS? This is a very common query what we get. And besides this, in the polycystic ovaries, one very important cosmetic problems with which the young girls are coming to us is the acne, multiple acne on the face. Yes, wo girls not approach to us for the irregular cycle, but they approach to us for the multiple acne or for the abnormal hair growth near the chin or near the navel. So acne is also the one of the commonest findings of this polycystic ovarian disease. So now, is it like that PCOS we have to treat only by the oral contraceptive pills? So friends, here I want to emphasize for everyone that PCOS is basically a lifestyle disorder. So changes in the lifestyle is very important. So girls are coming to me, ma'am, my weight has been increased, and why I'm not able to lose the weight because I'm suffering from the PCOS or I am suffering from hypothyroidism. It's my dream to look like a Katrina Kaif. How it is possible? I'm so depressed. It is not possible. So my counseling always start with two lines. The girls are coming to me who are saying that they want to look like this celeb or that celeb. So I always start the dream. The dream is that which is not you are seeing while you are sleeping, but the dream is that which doesn't allow you to sleep. So we have to work hard. If we want to get something, of course, we have to work hard. So basically, changes in the lifestyle is very important for this polycystic ovarian syndrome. So the lifestyle should be active. So in this, we explain the patient that any kind of exercise for 40 minutes is very important. They can do dancing, they can do cycling, they can do swimming, they can do Zumba, any kind of 40 minutes exercise is must. But or they can go for the brisk walk also. Brisk means when you're walking, you should be fast walk. So these are the some, and very important, especially I am from Pune, where the metro city, where a lot of girls I am getting of this smoking and alcohol. So friends, smoking, alcohol, junk food, this we have to avoid if you want to change the PCOS completely. So yes, changes in the lifestyle and this quitting of the smoking and alcohol, this all is very important. So now the questions come that, ma'am, which food we can take? Yes, we have read in the somewhere that we can take this, we can take that. So friends, a simple what we suggest to the patients that you can have the foods of the low glycemic index and not of the high glycemic index. Whether you are non-vegetarian or vegetarian, you can choose your diet from the chart from the Google and take accordingly to that. So here also I always tell my patients that your diet is a bank account. So good food choices will give you the good investment. So now coming to the next is regarding the dysmenorrhea, the pain during the menses. I think this is very common and we get so many patients of this that, ma'am, we are getting a pain during menstrual cycle. So how to and some days we are not able to go to the college or the school due to the pain during the menses. So sometimes their mom gives them some of the painkiller and they are getting relief. But some girls are complaining that at the time of the menses, they are having a severe vomiting sensation and other problems too. So friends, if you are having such kind of problem, please go and consult the doctor. So doctor will identify, will check you properly. If needed, they will advise you for one sonography to rule out whether it is a primary dysmenorrhea or secondary dysmenorrhea. And accordingly, we advise the drugs. Now, this is also very important, the vaginal discharge or leukorrhea. So, ma'am, I am having this white discharge problem since so long, or the mothers are coming with their daughters. My daughter is so young. Now, ma'am, she started the problem of white discharge. It is not like with me when I was 13, 14 years, never is the problem of the white discharge. So now Is it important to treat this vaginal discharge? Yes. So friends, depending on the vaginal discharge, so we will start the treatment, whether it is a thin colored odorless discharge or whether it is a discharge giving us some fishy smell. And a third variant is very important, that some are telling that some cheesy or curd-like material is coming in the vaginal discharge and which is associated with lot of itching. So and itching especially increases at night. So for that, we advise the treatment after checking the patient. Accordingly, we advise the treatment. And here again, I want to emphasize that what the treatment we are prescribing, the antibiotic course for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. Please take that complete course. Usually what happens after taking 1 or 2 days, the patient starts feeling good. So they stop taking the medication. So not like that, friends. You have to take the complete course of the medication. So now coming to this acute abdominal pain, this is also very important. We are getting sometimes the patients of this acute abdominal pain. So what is very important, our day-to-day practice, I will cover all that first. Similarly, the pain in the lower abdomen, this is also very common in the girl child. We have seen so many patients with the infection and for this pelvic inflammatory disease and tubo-ovarian abscess. Tubo-ovarian abscess is actually a late complication that the doctor will diagnose. So yes, ectopic pregnancy is a very important point I have to mention, because in my 25 years of practice, I operated on my hand. I can take the 6 patients' name for the ectopic. One is of 15 years, rest all are of 17 years. One 15 and one even of 13 years. So yes, this ectopic pregnancy patient has missed the period and she thought that her cycles are irregular. That's why and when she came to OPD, when I done the sonography and seen the pregnancy in the tube or pregnancy in the ovary. So this is also very important. If your periods are not coming properly and you are sexually active, please go and consult the doctor as soon as possible. Here I want to share one of my patients. She's tech savvy and her friend is in some IT sector, and they have that time this abortifacient pills are easily available. They have taken by some contact from some of the medical store. After taking that abortifacient pills, she got a syncopal attack. She is fainted in the road, and then they thought to go to the doctor and consult and do the sonography. So yeah. So now coming to this regarding the breast. So with the breast also, there are a lot of problems. Patients are coming to us, ma'am, my breast is small. Other coming, my breast is so large. One are coming, I'm having a pain at the time of the menses. Other are saying, ma'am, I'm feeling some lump in my breast. Other is complaining that some discharge from the breast. So how to treat this? So friends, all the breast masses are not the cancers. First and very important point I want to emphasize on this, that all the lumps are not the cancerous. They can be fibroadenoma or fibrocystic disease or due to some breast infection. So this fibroadenoma or the breast mouse is very commonly we have seen these days. If you are having any kind of breast lump, yes, and this October month is for the breast cancer awareness month also. And in our India at present, the breast cancer is the leading cause of the cancer in our India. So for this, we are doing lot of activities that everybody should do, at least the self-examination of the breast once in a month. And if or 1 yearly, they can go to the doctor. And if doctor is advising you some mammography, so please go for that mammography test. Here the patients give me the explanation, ma'am, mammography is very painful. So friends, is it not like that? Mammography is not painful. Why I'm focusing? Because if the young girls are listening to this talk, they can emphasize to their moms also to go for this mammography at least once a year or after every 2 years. So the mammography is done after the periods, it is not at all painful. Sometimes we find some lump in the breast, and of course for the fibroadenoma not, but if you find some other lump or some the lesions more than 5 centimeters, sometimes the biopsy is advised. So sometimes the patients are very reluctant and telling, if we do this biopsy, our cancer cells will spread and my life will be end. So it is not like that. So friends, it is also very, very important. If you are suffering from any of kind of the breast lump, please go and meet your doctor. Here again, I want to emphasize one very, very important point. What the myth in the common public that wearing of some different colored bra increases the chances of the breast lump and breast cancer. So nothing like that. Wearing of black or purple color bra doesn't increases the chances of cancer. Other important point here, there some are saying that using an underwired bra is also increases the cancer. So no, nothing like that. Other important point, if you're getting some discharge from the nipple, whether the greenish or reddish or yellowish, so or you're getting suddenly the milky discharge from the breast, that is maybe due to some hormonal imbalance, due to increased prolactin levels. So please go and consult the doctor. Don't sit at the home. Please go and consult the doctor as early as possible. Now, taking in nutshell, the sexually transmitted disease, also very, very important. We are seeing so many of patients is due to human papilloma virus. So girls are coming to me and asking me, ma'am, it is a syphilis or it is a papilloma virus infection. So for protection of that, we are giving this human papilloma virus vaccine. So regarding vaccine, I will take sessions sometime, some another time. Or those who want to listen, there are so many sessions I have done on this on my YouTube channel. You can see on that. Yeah. So because we are focusing on the girl child, so the vaccination is important for the girls in the age group of between 9 to 13 years before they initiate the sexual activity. So the two types of vaccines are available, the Gardasil and the Cervarix. The bivalent and quadrivalent vaccine are available. So once you go and meet the doctor, so doctor will guide you properly for this vaccination. So here, this is also very important. The healthy sexuality education for boys and girls is very, very important. So avoidance of early marriage and pregnancy, following the healthy dietary pattern, improving the menstrual hygiene, quitting of smoking and alcohol. Yes, and for the some patients we are advising for this pap test also. And the condom promotion or provision for those who are sexually active. So, yeah. Delayed puberty we won't take in this lecture. So these are the some common symptoms what we are getting in our daily OPD. So besides that, if there are any questions, we are happy to answer for that question. So the multidisciplinary and individualized management is considered necessarily. Do not underestimate the social or physiological impairments of gynecologic disease. So thank you friends for your patient hearing. So before I wind up the take home message, the happy International Girl Child Day. You can change the world. So girl, do not underestimate yourself. And thank you, Shama, for inviting me here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So we will go for question answer session, ma'am.
Okay, dear.
So it was very elaborative and very nice session, ma'am. Very informative. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now the first question.
Yeah.
So the question goes like, hi, I'm mother of 14-year-old and my worry is my girl have not yet got her first period still now. Please advise what to do.
Okay. Yes, we are very openly getting these kind of patients in our OPD. So if you are a mom of 14-year and your daughter is still, so first of all, we want to know what about the other secondary sexual characters, whether her breasts are developed, she is getting some hairs on the genitalia, yes or no. So, or any other problem or any other family history. So if it's something like that, please go and consult your doctor as early as possible. The doctor will check for the other secondary sexual characteristics also and will advise you the treatment too. Or is it any history of some tuberculosis in the past? So my one advice is that they should consult a gynec as early as possible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So the next question, I'm 18-year-old girl suffering from severe pain during periods. I can't attend my college for 3 days. It is normal or I have any other problem? Please clarify and suggest how could I relieve this pain?
Yeah, hi. So see, this I have already covered in my presentation. Yes, so if you are not able to attend the college at the time of the periods, so this is, we use the terminology, the dysmenorrhea. The dysmenorrhea can be primary or maybe secondary. So if, no, it is not normal that all the 3 days if you are having a pain. Sometimes a little pain is okay, but if you are having every time, if you are having to take the painkiller, so in that case, please you go and consult the doctor. Doctor, if it advises you some sonography, go and do that sonography, whether you are having any fibroid or any polyp. So doctor will check and will guide you properly. Other thing, how you can relieve this pain till you are going to the doctor? Yes, of course, you can take some of the painkillers. The brand name I can't take in the show. So you can take that painkillers, or meanwhile, you can do some hot water fermentation of the tummy. Less salt intake, that will also help in some patients. Yeah, Shama.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. So another question, I'm 18-year-old girl with very bad smell from vagina. Sometimes itchy and when urinating it's paining and there is a burning sensation in vagina. How do I get rid of these symptoms?
So, hello, anonymous. So if they have asking this question, yeah. So first, once the patient are coming to me with this, or some patients are getting an online appointment for this also. So my first question to them, are they sexually active? If they are sexually active, the first and foremost thing, we have to treat the partner also. If the patient is saying no, yes, then we have to explain the maintenance of the proper hygiene, the genitalia hygiene, that how they have to maintain, and for the urination. And if some are having a tendency, that they won't go for the urination for long times. Some are saying, ma'am, we are not getting a time because we are logging whole the day. So frequent urination is also very, very important. Yes, if what the question is itching and urinating and pain. Yes, of course, this denotes some kind of infection. So you have to consult the doctor. Yes, urine routine microscopic urine culture we advise. And how to get rid of this symptom, for the basic layman language, if I explain, you have to maintain the proper vaginal hygiene, and while the cleaning, you have to clean from from front to back, not from back to front, and drink lot of water. And these some kind of suggestions I can give. Only for the rest of the things, you have to consult the doctor. Yes, in here also one important point, if the burning sensation, yes, some girls are coming to me, ma'am, we have taken this cranberry sachets or cranberry something, so that are very, very good results are having that. We are having some questions in the chat box too.
Yes, ma'am, they will also be picked up, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, is there any role of probiotics, prebiotics, and from what age we can use these, ma'am?
This is a very good question. See, that this girl is from the 18 years. See, in our Indian culture, the curd is a very, very good source of the probiotics. So, Shama, you have taken out a very, very good point. So, yes, the probiotics curd to everyone is having at home. So, yes, if you can take this curd, there is nothing like that from which age group you have to start. Curd, we can start at 4 years also, 5 years also, 8 years also. But if you are having this kind of bad smell, routinely in routine diet also we are telling them to take the probiotics, because pre and probiotics having a good kind of bacteria which will help to fight from the infections. So yes, we can give the probiotics. Probiotics have a role in everything these days. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So here the question, I'm 20-year-old engineering student facing problem in concentrating in studies. On top of that, I am gaining weight and pimples on face. Also have regular periods once in 2-3 months and very less flow. How do I solve these multiple problems?
I hope this this person has got the answer in the presentation because I very elaborately presented for this acne, weight gain, for this polycystic
Yes.
ovary. I've already answered. Huh? So yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So typical case of a PCOS.
Yes.
So I'm 19-year-old girl with irregular periods and pain in left side of abdomen, and in ultrasound it is 3 centimeter ovarian cyst. I'm afraid, is it life threatening? Please advise what to do next.
Yeah.
They themselves gone and had ultrasound.
Okay, that's good. Huh? So here now, Shama, I want to share with you one of my patients, similarly like she's 20 years, she's having a pain in abdomen. She gone to the sonography center and done the sonography. The sonologist told her that it is a hemorrhagic cyst.
Yes.
So hemorrhagic cyst. So that's why you are getting the pain. Then she again Googled. She read. She has taken some painkillers from either from this all of the sites where they are getting the medications from them, and still if she the pain was not relieved, then she read somewhere in the Google that the cyst is going to be ruptured. So then she consulted to me. So friends, here also it is very important. The cyst less than or 5 centimeter usually goes spontaneously, or we give sometimes in some cycles of the oral contraceptive pills, and also depends on the which kind of cyst you are having. It's a simple cyst or it's a hemorrhagic cyst, or you are having a dermoid. Because one of my patient has came to me, Dr. Sharma, the patient is a dermoid. So dermoid is
Yes.
not going
No.
to go for, I'm just sharing you with you, the patient is overconfident and she is not ready that madam, I have came to you only for this, only you suggest me some painkiller. I have
Yes.
read some, she is telling me I have read somewhere that this will go from the oral contraceptives. She herself has started this malady also from so I am getting total tech savvy patients. Total tech savvy. So but how come the dermoid will go by that? So once you are having this ovarian cyst, so the type of the ovarian cyst, which type of ovarian cyst, that is also very important. Yes, if you are having a dermoid or endometrioma, then of course you have to consult the doctor. Yes, 3 centimeter cyst is not a problem. 3 centimeter endometrioma is also there. We can treat easily by the medications. But dermoid ke liye we have to do the operation if it is more than 5 centimeter. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, and the question, I'm 21-year-old woman. What is the ideal contraceptive device after first delivery through C-section? Will copper T lead to excess heavy flow? And please clarify about it.
Yeah. So this is also a very important question. Yes, after first C-section, you can go ahead with this copper T also. It is not like that. Yes, in some patients, the copper T with or any of the intrauterine device, they get bleeding for a few months, heavy bleeding, and after that the bleeding decreases. Or sometimes the chances of expulsion of the device are also very high. So you can go for this also. You can tell your husband to use the condoms for some day, or you can go for this the lactation contraceptive pills also we are giving. But in that also, I hope Shama will agree with me. Intermittent spotting, breakthrough bleeding is very common. So many patients are coming. Other is the patients are reading these days regarding this Depo-Provera. That Depo-Provera. And now or the Implanon, now it is coming because this Norplant and all that. So because that was not earlier available here. So with these injections also, what happened once we give the patient, the cycles become irregular. Then patient every time call, ma'am, my periods has missed. How many times I will do the pregnancy test? So my here suggestion, please, whatsoever you are using, please go and consult the doctor. Yes, copper T you can use, but it is not bad for all the patients. Some patients it suits very well also. But the proper checkup is very much important post menses also.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, this patient, they were having very much fear of copper T, as few people were scaring them. It will get heavy flow. You will be anemic, like that. They were scaring, and what they have lastly taken as a contraceptive is abstinence. So I said, if both are happy with abstinence, no one can stop. But it is not 100% a success rate in abstinence. So. Like that means we can't say abstinence will be a successful contraceptive method always. So go for copper T. If any means like that complications occur, they can go for gynecologist.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So this one lengthy question, and I'm 20-year-old married woman with multiple problems like excessive flow and pain during periods, pain during intercourse, and pain during urination. I have observed ultrasound. In that, it was given I have retroverted uterus. And when I googled, I noticed all my symptoms could be due to retroverted uterus. Please suggest what to do and any other causes for my symptoms.
Come to me or go to Dr. Sharma. One answer, one line answer I will give. The patient who themselves are diagnosing the retroverted uterus and everything, the pinpoint are. So as if, for this now, so many patients we are getting for this online consultation also. So I tell them, yes, if you want, we can return your the fees what we have taken for online. Please come physically for that. For that, we can't answer here. Either come to me or either go to Dr. Sharma, whatever is feasible for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Shamoli, just a second. One of my patient is having ectopic pain. Just a second. I have to just answer this call. Huh? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So from my point of view, I can say is this question, Googling is not correct. If you go to the gynecologist and do have a few of your investigations and technically they palpate and see the tenderness over your abdomen and see the cycles, how they are coming. On all that basis, we can come to one conclusion. And Googling always doesn't make the sense, and it will increase your mental tension, it will increase your day-to-day life thinking. Digital means nothing like that, you have to google it. Digital means coming to a conclusion with the gynecologist support, like webinars we are doing, and a lot of interviews, lot of videos also available in YouTube channels of gynecologists like Ritu ma'am have several webinars, talks, and also a few intellect videos are there. Like that, you can go digitally, but not googling and confusing your diagnosis.
Correct.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, correct. So this online, this question I have answered already.
Yes, ma'am. So any health related suggestions and diet suggestions to adolescent girl, ma'am?
Yeah. Homemade food will be the best food. Avoidance of the junk food, that is also very, very important. So quitting of the smoking and alcohol. I don't know about the Guntur, but in the Pune, the smoking and alcohol has become an epidemic, you can say. Every second girl you can see for the smoking and the alcohol. So that is also very, very important. And your diet, your plate should be rich in antioxidants. The colorful plate, whatever the seasonal fruits and vegetables you are getting, you have to take that. I'm not telling that you have to buy this cashew nut and buy almonds. Whatever the seasonal fruits are available, what is easily available, so you can take that. That is not a problem. Carrots are available, beetroots are available. These days we are getting a lot of sweet lime, oranges. So all that you can. And green leafy vegetables, here the patients ask me, ma'am, which green leafy vegetable we can take? You can take anything. You can take spinach, you can take spring onion, you can take fenugreek. There are so many things are available. You can take mushrooms. That all the diet should be a colorful rainbow diet, rainbow plate, what we say. That all we can say. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. As per any suggestions for young women for her well-being, as per recently yesterday we have covered mental health day, and also breast cancer, as you mentioned, ma'am, breast cancer awareness month. So what all other things you can suggest for a young women for her well-being?
I think you have covered these two things only. I was going to say this mental health and breast cancer. So that's good what you have covered. And here again, because I want to say, there is one line in the Hindi कि कुएं का मेढक भी नहीं बनना है और हमको बहुत ज्यादा नॉलेज भी नहीं करना है. Yes, I also focus. I am very much tech savvy, and I always favor that the digital generation will be the our generation. So as Dr. Sharma has also mentioned, yes, as much as possible, get digitalized, and try to get more and more new information, but don't try to treat all the things by only reading. So whatever is the problem, please go and consult the doctor. Doctor will guide you properly after seeing, because there is nothing like some tailor-made protocol for every patient. We have to give some different kind of, everyone's body react differently. So here the girls are coming to me. Shama, I am sharing you the one personal experience. Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
I have read this in the Google. The Norflox was written to me only for the 3 days, and you told me you take Norflox for 5 days. Huh. So I told, is it like that, that your mom is eating a 2 chapati or your friend is eating a 1 chapati, all of you are the same body weight? So how can we do like, so there is nothing like some tailor-made protocol for each and everything. We have to consult the doctor properly, and doctor will advise you.
Yes.
Rest, I think breast cancer and mental health you already covered, so that is okay. Yeah.
Suman, any questions in the chat box? Please, can you enumerate in here?
Yes, ma'am. Number one question in the chat box is age 11 years, got first period, how to go about it?
So this is also, see, these days the age of menarche is also, we are getting so many patients, the age of menarche is also decreased. Means earlier the girls are coming to us for the 13, 14 years. Now 10 years, 11 years. I have seen a patient of 7 years, 7 years of patient. Rest all the secondary sexual characters are not, means not proper, this breast means thilarchy instead of we say the breast development. So rest all the, but patient has started the periods at the age of the, she's 7 years, 6 months. So yes, okay, if other symptoms, if other this at age of 11, if she is getting first period, so nothing to worry. You please go and consult your doctor once. Doctor will do one sonography if required, or do the checkup and will advise you. So now I don't think there's any problem. So many girls we are getting of this 11 or 12 years. What's your experience, Shama, with that?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Because of junk food and because of means obesity problems, and also like kids are having the lifestyle modifications, like they're sitting in one place and they're with their mobiles all the time, before TV all the time. Because of these all, as we all know, obesity is leading to many other problems. In that all problems, complications, this also one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will take her.
And-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Panna question, 24 years unmarried, 12 centimeter ovarian cysts, both left and right ovary, irregular menstrual cycles. So please go and consult the doctor. 12 centimeter cyst, don't go via the medication. So which kind of cyst she has in both sides? Is it the endometrioma, or is it for what? Is it dermoid or what? So please go and consult the doctor. Don't sit at the home. 12 centimeters is a big cyst. Huh?
Yes. Any other questions, Suman?
No, madam. Do not find any in the chat box.
Okay. Ma'am, nowadays, yeah, PCB NDT everywhere we are following. But any words you can throw light on femicide and the type of mentality people are having on a girl child. If first is a girl and they don't want the second girl to be a girl child. On that, any words you can tell, ma'am, so that little change in their mindset. Any words you have?
लड़की, इसमें मैं हिंदी में बोलती हूँ, फिर
Yes, ma'am.
Translate in the English,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
there's a quote in the Hindi.
Okay, ma'am.
जो मैं उनको पूछती हूँ कि आपको लड़का क्यों चाहिए, तो एक लड़की क्या चीज है जो एक लड़की नहीं कर सकती और वो लड़का आपको कर देगा. तो जैसे कि हमें आगे फैमिली चलानी है, हमें आगे फैमिली का सपोर्ट करना है, तो I tell them, you take my example or you can become your example. Means the girls, usually the mom, husband, wife aate hain, when coming to the OPD, wives are saying, no ma'am, there's a lot of pressure, I am the alone member. So, but why you want a boy child? Why you don't want a girl child? Especially, ऐसा कौन सा काम है जो लड़कियां नहीं कर सकती जो लड़के कर सकते हैं? Yes, everything. Besides that, the girl has the power to become a mother that the boy cannot become a mother. So, इसी तरह से कुछ ऐसे बातें बताकर, usually once we have to tell the patient everything. So these days the scenario is very much changed, because Shama, in my practice, so because I'm in the Pune, I'm having all the means my practices with the mostly the educated class patients. So I'm not getting much of these kind of patients who are doing this gender
Inequality.
हाँ, yeah, gender inequality. तो मेरे पास वैसा ऐसा problem नहीं है. हाँ, only the some patients who are coming, they are saying rest is okay with that, not a problem.
Yes, ma'am. Very few patients nowadays are very much concerned that they want a variety of kids. But okay. But when a girl child is born, it means their generation is flourishing like anything. They must know, understand it, because where there is no daughter, there is no further future. I had one video, I have put one video in my YouTube channel on Save the Girl Child. My daughter has given one poem. In that, she told, when there is no daughter, there is no future.
Good.
So it's the reality. When there is no daughter further, when you are stopping a girl child coming in the world, that means there is no future in the whole entire earth. So that was one point which I liked.
Good, good.
So that's the importance of a girl child.
Yeah.
Beti bachao, beti ko padhao. So that's all want to say, ma'am.
No, one thing is good in the Maharashtra. See, now in Maharashtra, here the education literacy status is very high. Even the maids who are coming to clean or only the dusting, and everyone is educated minimal up to the 10th or 12th standard.
Okay, nice, ma'am. So I
we
will go for. Yes, ma'am.
Can we wind up, Shama? I
Ma'am?
am a patient with ectopic pregnancy. I told you, na, for that constantly the calls are coming to me. Huh?
Yes, ma'am. I will go for a vote of thanks. Please, can you project the certificate, ma'am? Certificate. Ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed honorable expert speaker, Dr. Ritu Satwani ma'am, for her presence and contribution and excellent presentation to make this webinar special. And even in her busy schedule, she had immediately accepted our invitation and have come to grace this event. We're really thankful to you, ma'am. I would like to thank my brilliant and really outstanding technical team from Shield for their continuous and fabulous support to UNR's healthcare. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all our delegates who joined and made this webinar a success. And thank you so much, ma'am. This is a small momentum from our UNR's healthcare, your certificate of participation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Most welcome. Welcome, dear. So, friends,
thank you, madam.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye. So we have covered almost all the things what the Dr. Shama want to ask me. Those who have left some queries can drop to Dr. Shama. So I will try to give, or you can connect with me on any of my social media. I am on everywhere. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you put my name, you will find me. So I am on everywhere. So you can connect with me on that kind of the digital platforms. So bye-bye. Bye, dear Shama. Thanks for inviting me. Bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye, ma'am.
Bye, dear. Bye.